What the? And I try to do with the nose thing. No, you can't see it. Alright, so this book brings back memories. It influenced me a lot through the martial arts worlds back in the day. But anyway, as I journey, yes, I am in search for all the Kung Fu masters, and not just masters, are all martial arts practitioner, because I think it's very uniquely interesting that they all have very uniquely different philosophy of life. Well, actually, we all do, because we have all different type of circumstances that happen to us or for us, whatever. But that all make us unique. But then, I interview the most amazing martial artists, practitioner, kung fu artist, whatever they is. But we are all influenced by also outside forces. The not only that we live the external world, right? We live in the external, external, internal. I think internal. Anyway, I think I messed up on that. The external world by movies, by the martial arts world. I remember back in the day, I used to watch like Wu Jing with the Drunken Monkey. Wu Jing, I love Wu Jing, man. He's one of the best fighter, man. He was in SPL. Anybody who know SPL, they had Sammo Hung, Wu Jing. So Sammo Hung, Wu Jing, and Donnie was in it, right? Yo, why every time Sammo Hung is so powerful? Like every movie, Sammo Hung is so powerful. Like God, like with just one punch he make you fly. Anyway, I believe like everybody is influenced by Bruce Lee, right? You name it. Ron Balik is influenced by Bruce Lee, and he went search for the martial. He was trained by Dan Inosanto himself. Dan Inosanto was in the Game of Death, of course. Danny Inosanto know Bruce Lee and was with Bruce Lee. And, everybody is influenced some way or shape or form because of Bruce Lee. Yes, we can, all say bad stuff about him, but uniquely, that's what I like about him. He all influenced people in Kung Fu world, business world, whatever, for the better, right? It's funny. People always talk bad about him, but without him, there wouldn't be wouldn't be widespread of Kung Fu or Wing Chun, right? I think that, they made Wing Chun or Ip Man become popular. I wonder what would Ip Man think when he come out of the, grave and it's like, whoa, I'm famous, holy crap. Thank you, Bruce Lee. Thank you for making me famous. Now I can't do anything with it. I know people think that's blasphemy if I'm... Look, I think that we're all enjoying life, and, there's a lot of negativity when it comes to, I see a lot of videos on YouTube, and there's... Oh, God. I remember there was this YouTube channel, and he's a martial artist. He's a great online marketer. He's a Kung Fu artist. And there was a lot of negativity on martial arts. For some odd reason, I thought that all martial arts supposed to promote good in the world, right? That's when I grew up. When I was as a child, I thought that martial arts were there to protect people, right? What's with all these nonsense of keyboard warriors with negativity on it? I still don't understand that. Like, I get that, when it comes to guys or men, they have lots of pride. I get that. And then they see, my system is better than your system, but I'd rather be open-minded than not, because you won't learn anything just being close-minded, I think. And that's my personal opinion, but that's alright. But, I'm more like a pacifist, so... every time when I was back in boarding school, every time I just, when either people try to fight me because it's like, oh, you don't know Kung Fu, because usually I do like tornado kick and show off with that. I used to show off a lot, and then I would get people coming and fighting me, and usually I don't fight them. I do fight them. Correction, I do fight them, but it's usually to scare them off. Usually I was afraid to actually hurt them. You know, people are not afraid to hurt you, I guess, you know, you should say. But anyway, this book has a lot of influence on my life because my friend gave this to me. He said, you know, I can keep it for a while, but he said, you know, I remember I didn't, it was to borrow, not to keep, right? But oops, I kept it, so I feel so guilty. I give all my Kung Fu form DVDs to him. Anyway, this has the history of how Kung Fu began, where the genesis, where it, you know, it's funny, you thought like Kung Fu would start from a Chinese guy, you would thought, right? But it wasn't start in like a Chinese guy, it was an Indian guy. I was like, what? And of course, they, you know, they have India where they said it originated where Kung Fu come from. And so they had the story of the Indian guy go to the temple of was it the monk, because they were so weak. I still remember the story, but not accurately, because it still tells the story of, you know, they were so weak, so the Indian guy, or whatever his name is, correct me, maybe I'm wrong, but you know, he was teaching them to make them health more. What was it? To make them more stronger or something, not because they were so weak and they were practicing. They have, I can't remember the I don't know. And then, but then it began, you know, the Shaolin. People said that's where all Kung Fu started, or all martial arts originate, and it branched out to other martial arts systems, right? And so that's what make martial arts interesting to me. Not for the, of course, for, you know, when you're a kid, you're fascinated by the fast move, the fast punches, the fast kick, like tornado kick, and you see all those people doing all those amazing things. Well, for me, I was influenced by Power Ranger and Jackie Chan. You know, that's why I said many people are influenced by Bruce Lee. Ron Balicki was one. Donnie Yen was influenced by Bruce Lee. Jackie Chan was influenced by Bruce Lee, and Sammo Hung too. That's truly amazing. Though Sammo Hung has a powerful fist. I mean, every time I watch that guy, man, I'm a fan of Sammo Hung, man. He's a cool guy, man. He's a cool guy. I don't, even at his age, he's still like, yeah, he's a cool guy. And so, back in the day, all I could care about, all I was obsessed with, not obsessed with, was Kung Fu. Every time I talk about Kung Fu, there's some Kung Fu that throwing fists, and even though, oh man, back in the day, right? So this book give you, I think that I know that back in the day, people were when people enter Kung Fu or the Kung Fu school, I remember I was picking up a lot of magazines in the Kung Fu school. I would buy them, but I was more interested in the philosophy. Philosophy helped me with, well, right now I'm kind of impatient with doing horse stance, because back in the day, the horse stance hurt my butt. Because I remember the stories, my friend always told me about the story where people would do like 30-minute horse stance. You know, I remember back in the day, I practiced doing horse stance so low for the test for the going to the staff form for Hanfut, and so it would burn my leg and I could not get up. Holy crap, man! Like, yeah. So anyway, it dived deep into the yin and the yang and the Tao philosophy, I think, the Tao, but also the different systems of either Wing Chun, the northern, I think northern, or I don't know. But they talk about praying mantis, and they talk about, you know, Trolley Fut, and the I already covered Wing Chun and Hungar. I was more influenced. I didn't know at the time it was Hungar, but Wong Fei Hung, or they would do like the, you know, like this. I was also influenced by Wong Fei Hung, but not only that, I was influenced by the Chinese culture, because I think that the Vietnamese people are influenced by them, even though they don't see it. If you read the history, they're very much influenced by the Chinese. Actually, the Chinese have a lot of influence by other influence other culture too. So it's big. China is big, but all right. So this book influenced. So how does this book influence? Well, in a couple ways. The fist, like in all kung fu or martial arts, they tell you to condition your hand or fist, or in any type of way. I remember back in the day, when I was in, before I did kung fu, I read this book, right, and it's talking about Iron Fist. Now, if you have not watched Shaolin Soccer, you would understand. You would understand Shaolin Soccer, right? Where they have the iron head, the mighty steel leg, and it's all funny. I love it. I love it, right? But this book talk about if you punch something hard, like a rock or brick or something of that nature, you would develop either, they said, calluses, or your bone would regrow and make it harder. And as you punch things, it'll hurt the victim, or hurt, not the victim, the person. Now, the funny thing is, I remember back in the day, I would punch in middle school. Okay, in middle school, I would, because of this book, it gave me the idea of punching things. So I start punching things. So I remember back, and there was a dent in it wasn't me, but in middle school there was a locker. I was walking to the hallway and I started punching it. And I was like, yeah. People thought I was maybe crazy. In my mind, I thought it was pretty cool. Just punch the locker. And then when I go to Kung Fu, right? Now, Kung Fu has a way to condition your form. What, Sam Sing, 3 stars, right? 3 stars where, they hit you. I can't do it right now. Where you go lower. So basically, Sam. That's hit with the arm, and then boom, right? Boom, and then go down, back again. So go boom, boom, boom. So it's go down. I love something. I did something. You can do something by yourself on a tree. People would think you're crazy. You can do something on a wooden dummy. I think that's pretty cool. It make your forearm harder, because when either a person hits you, it hurt them instead of you already first, right? Yeah, that's a way of conditioning. I remember back in the day. So this book is good for any martial artist or kung fu. But anyway, the story goes, when I was in boarding school, right? I said boarding school. Boarding school. What ended up happening was, people know that I do martial arts or kung fu. They know that I punch things, and I punch walls, and I punch. I remember my roommate, he would tell me just punch the floor, to show off to his friends, or in the morning, it was in the dining hall where people eat brunch or breakfast, so I would punch the floor and it would vibrate, and I was like, yeah, and he was like, yeah, they were like, whoa, yeah, right, back in the day, it was so fun. But the thing is, to this day, actually, I'm scared punching people in the face. It's had to do with an experience that I had before. I haven't talked about it a lot because I think that it's scary oftentimes. I mean, it's still in the back of my mind, my subconscious mind. Now, I remember, I guess you could say at first he was an acquaintance. It was in culinary arts. And I don't know, maybe someone told him. I don't know. I gotta ask him that, man. I got, for some odd reason, he just come up to me and I panic. I was like, what is this guy doing? Why is he putting up his fist ready to fight me? Like, what the heck? Why is he in a fighting stance with a fist, right? So close to my fist. It's like, whoa, what's going on? In a split second, I got panicked, right? So I thought to myself, I put my hand up, I would launch a punch, right? In my head, I thought it would miss. I initially want my fist to miss on purpose to scare him. But no, it didn't happen that way. I don't think I never told my mom that, but I punched that guy in the mouth. And so what ended up happening was he started leaking blood. And after that, I was like, whoa, oh my God, did that actually happen? And I had to apologize to him so many times because I felt so bad. Like, why did I do that? Because I broken my vows. I broken my principles that I would never use martial arts to harm others. I do it for just for the fun of it. I mean, for fun because I love it. But to hurt others, no, I would never do that. So it hurts me, and so I remember my ex at the time saw it, and she probably got scared because I punched the guy. And I got scared because I punched the guy, and I felt so bad. So he ended up getting 9 stitches. He was leaking bad, and people were talking like, see, I remember the guy, he's like, see, you shouldn't mess with Johnny. You shouldn't mess with Johnny. I was like, in my head, I was like, right now, I'm not thinking about that. I was like, why are you saying that? So I apologized to him like all day, man. And then I remember I was sitting with my ex at night. On the bench, she told me you should never do that again. I said, yeah, you're right, and so I never did. I was like, that's the story. That's what happened. I felt so bad. Ever since then, I got so scared of my fist. I don't. No, but before that, before boarding school, I remember back in high school, I punched lockers. I thought it would like help my fist, but it ended up breaking my fist. Right, it ended up breaking I think I broke it 1 or 2, and it hurt like crap. Right, but I ended up keep punching. I just punching bag, but I think punching bag is a good way to develop your conditioning, hand conditioning too. Anyway, it's a great book to get. Excuse me. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.